Hi, Cantor. Welcome to your January 2020 Astrology 33 bonus love reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, if you're watching this when I first posted, I actually won't be offering readings at that time. But when we actually do get into the month of January, I will open those back up again. So you could just check out the description of the video for more information on all of that. As for what we have in front of us, this is what I call the bridging the gap spread, and the way it works is the cards on the left side represent your energy toward the connection with your main love interest. Cards on the right side represent their energy toward the connection. These are the past, present, future energies. And then once we get through those, we'll actually pull some oracle cards for some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. And as for the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have Tarot of Sexual Magic. Alright, so with that out of the way, the past position on your side, we have the Justice card, which is the major arcana card for Libra. And we have the Ten of Arrows, which is actually a Gemini energy. So a lot of air energy, right? Which on one hand you would think would mean communication. But there's a few different ways I could see this playing out. For some of you, this could just be pointing to a timeline, maybe saying that during Libra season, some of you might have actually ended a connection. And it possibly could have even been a marriage, because the justice can sometimes point to legal separation. So maybe this was someone you were married to, and maybe your divorce was finalized, possibly during the time of Libra or during the time of Gemini. So this could be someone totally separate that you're dealing with now. This could just be saying that the energy you were bringing to the connection was you had just gotten out of a serious relationship. That's one way it could be playing out. For others of you, this could actually represent, I'm picking up on a bit of ultimatum energy here, where maybe you actually communicated that you wanted out of the connection because maybe you felt like there wasn't balance in the connection. For example, maybe they wanted you to stay at home all the time and do all the work around the house or something like that, but maybe you wanted to go out and work, right? Or maybe you wanted shared responsibilities between the two of you. So in some way, you might have communicated that you wanted a balance, and if you weren't going to get it, then you were going to leave the connection. That could be what's going on there. And this could even point to maybe around the time of the Gemini full moon, which we had recently. So this could be even more recent for some of you. Past energy on their side, we have the King of Wands. So this is actually a court card of Leo, so some of you could possibly be dealing with the Leo. But another way this could be playing out as well could just be, again, embodying that energy that we were talking about. Maybe it was just maybe they were a bit stubborn and prideful. So again, like I said, maybe they wanted you to stay home. Oh no, I'll go out and work. You stay home. And maybe that was just something that you weren't really interested in. Maybe you felt like that was a little too old school for your liking, right? So you didn't like that feeling of doing that. Barbara's view, though, this could just be saying that they might have brought a lot of passion to the connection, but then maybe when it came to taking things to the next level, so again, like shared responsibilities, right, and all that stuff, they might have been a lot more set in their ways and a little bit more stubborn. So that could have been what brought about the ending. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that comes to mind. No, that's pretty much all I'm getting there, but we'll see what else we get as we go on. In the present position on your side, we have illusion. So this is actually the moon card, which is your ruler for one, but sometimes this is referred to as a Pisces energy. I don't necessarily see it that way. Also, usually when the moon card is in the upright, I don't necessarily see it as outright deception with malicious intent. Sometimes I see it more as a bit of self-deception, where maybe someone's not seeing a situation clearly. So maybe even this for some of you, and maybe that's where the Pisces energy does come into play. This could just be pointing to, again, like I was saying, we recently had that full moon in Gemini. So maybe that might have thrown off your perception around the situation. That could be what's at play for some of you. I'm trying to think if anything else comes to mind. And then, of course, there's going to be the full moon eclipse in your sign this month. So that might even help clear any illusions where maybe you might have been seeing things incorrectly. Having a full moon in your sign and an eclipse, no less, is going to be pretty powerful, especially for you guys. You guys are more affected by the moon cycle than anyone. So when that comes around, that could just be saying that maybe you might see things more clearly at that time. present energy on their side, we have the Justice card. So really the first thing that comes to my mind here could be saying that, especially for those of you where, like I said, maybe this was an ultimatum energy that you might have given to this person, and how I was saying with that King of Wands energy, maybe they were a bit stubborn and fixed in their ways. This could just be saying that whatever you told them you wanted that balance in, whatever fairness you wanted to have in the connection, this could represent that they actually are ready to give that to you now. But we could even see, though, a little bit of reluctance there if we look at her body language, right? Like her legs are pointed away, but then she's looking toward the cards on this side. So to me, it's like they're slowly starting to get there, you know what I mean? But maybe not as quickly as you'd like. And they might be communicating this to you too, saying that, okay, you know what, it could even be too. Even that we see Libra energy here twice, and Libra's your fourth house. This could even be around maybe you wanted the two of you to move in together, right? And maybe for them, they thought that that was a real big step that they weren't ready for. So this is just a real generic example, but hopefully it gives some context to what I'm feeling with the situation. So maybe that's what this is around, right? They say, oh, okay, I don't know if I necessarily want to move in with you, right? And then maybe that was the argument. And then again, given that I felt a bit of an ultimatum vibe, maybe you completely cut the connection off, right? And maybe now they're coming back around, which, you know, we are in eclipse season, so people's views could definitely change on things. Maybe now they're telling you that they're ready, right? And maybe you don't know if you can trust that, and that could be what the illusion energy is pointing to there, saying, well, I don't know if I can trust that they're coming back around, you know what I mean? So that could be, it could be as simple as that, where you might have broken up with them, now they're coming back around. And like I said, you know, eclipse energies can sometimes be similar to Mercury retrogrades, where things from the past come back around. So maybe they could be saying to you, all right, yeah, I'm ready to do this. And now you could be the one to tell you, yeah, I don't know if I'm really trusting that, right? Especially because at the bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Nine of Coins, which is a Virgo energy, and it's definitely about doing your thing, being single, embracing it, right? So it could be one of those things where now you're a little bit unsure, like, yeah, I don't know if I'm really ready for that now. So maybe it just took them too long. I don't know. But bottom of the deck on their side represents the Death card. So I would say, you know, this is a Scorpio energy. So this could just be saying that for some of you, I mean, especially if you look at the artwork here, it looks pretty intimidating. They definitely, this could just represent that they were really upset when you broke up with them, you know what I mean? And then for others of you, this can just represent transformation too with that energy. So maybe whatever ultimatum you did put out there, maybe it actually did change them. Because I don't really see negative energy on their side per se. So there is that. Now in the future position, you guys got a whole lot of cards. So let's see what we get from this. We have the Prince of Cups. This is a court card for Pisces. Prince of Arrows. This is the equivalent of the Knight of Swords. That's Gemini energy. Four of Staves. This is Aries energy. Three of Cups. This is actually Cancer energy. And then Grace. This is the equivalent of the Star card, which is Aquarius energy. So a whole lot going on here, right? But if we were to try to tie all these energies together, this can just be saying, again, you know, maybe this person's come back around, right? Saying that they've changed. And, you know, we do see the moon symbolism in these cards. We see it there in the illusion card, and then we see it here as well. And also in the Three of Cups energy as well. I pick up on that in the background. That's what I feel. So what this could be saying for some of you is that, you know, maybe they've come back around, they've communicated to you that, all right, they're ready to do it, right? And maybe now you guys are slowly starting to get things back on track between you. And then if that's the case, this could just be saying that maybe during Pisces season, which, you know, sounds like it might be a little far away, but it'll be here before we know it. You might communicate, right? Because the Knight of Swords is a Gemini energy, all about communication, or it might not even take until Pisces season. This could just even be pointing to while Mercury is moving through Pisces, which I think happens towards the end of January. Let me check real quick. Oh yeah, actually maybe the very beginning of February, Mercury will be there. But this could just be saying that you guys might communicate again with that Four of Staves energy, since I was picking up on energy for some of you where the discussion was more around moving in together or again, even just taking a relationship to the next level. Looks like that could be taking place because we do say that celebration energy right there. And like I said, that is a Cancer energy, so that could definitely represent your energy. And then the grace card representing the star, that's often seen as a wish card of sorts. And, what also stands out to me too is to say that this card comes after the Tower card in the Major Arcana too. So this can just be saying that you guys did go through a Tower moment together, right? I mean, it looks like it hit this person pretty hard, actually. That's what I'm picking up on more than anything. And now it's saying that through that, like I said, surprise, surprise, right? We hit eclipse season, and now maybe this thing might actually start to come back together. And it might even surprise you, and you might be a little bit wary of trusting him in the beginning as well. And then the future energy on their side, we have the Ace of Wands. So, on the one hand, this definitely represents a passionate energy, right? We see obviously the two people there, and then it looks like the silhouettes of two people in the fire as well. So that could just represent that the passion between you is very high. But another way you could look at this too, since we do see the King of Wands here, the Ace of Wands could represent that they really do, bring that fresh start to you, right? We look at the Ace as a fresh start energy. So can't just be saying that, you stood your ground, and maybe it took a while, right? Maybe it was a bit painful for a bit, but it looks like things actually start to work out in your favor. All right, now let's move on to the Oracle cards. First, we'll see if I could get any additional messages from the Mystic Moon Oracle deck. So for those of you who haven't seen this type of spread from me before, I actually do pre-shuffle the deck before we start recording, and I'm actually looking for jumpers here. So first I'll be looking for any unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if I shuffle for a while and nothing seems to be coming up, I just take that as a sign to keep it moving, since it is just a general read. All right, so let's see if we get anything. Like I said, first we'll be looking for unspoken messages from you to them. Almost had one there. Oh, there we go, got one. And then let's see if there's any unspoken messages from them to you. All right, got one there. Interesting. Okay, so first we have, I can still feel you. So, obviously, I mean, maybe that's what kind of throws you for a loop, right? And maybe this is even saying for some of you, given that Virgo is your third house, this can't just be saying that this was like the perception that you were trying to give everyone, that, oh yeah, I'm doing great, I love being single, right? But maybe behind closed doors, you still really did wish you were with the person. And now, like I said, maybe they come back around showing you that, yeah, I am, willing to do what you asked me to do, since, like I said, we had the justice in the past in your side, and then in the present on their side. So it could just be saying, maybe it took them a while too, but, maybe deep down you didn't really lose the connection, and that's why we see all that passionate energy in the future. But, that could be what that's pointing to. And then on their side, it says, I'm not the same person that you remember. So that actually aligns really well with what we were saying here, right? Which is to say, I really do pick up that out for a lot of you through some kind of ultimatum their way. They weren't really feeling it, right? And now they come back showing you that, hey, what you were asking me to be before, I'm doing that now, right? And then that could be what they're saying there. I'm not the same person you remember, right? So obviously, if you had to cut them off because you felt like things weren't fair between the two of you, this could be what they're saying. And to be fair, for most of you, I really think you can trust that. Maybe the only thing that could throw that off could be the death card at the bottom. But like I said, I feel that for most of you, this probably more than anything points to is probably a huge blow for their ego. You know what I mean? And maybe that was why they needed some time away. You know what I mean? Like, because like we said, even in the upright, not necessarily in a negative way, but that could be a prideful energy. So, obviously if you cut them off, that might have really stung them for a bit, and maybe that's why it took them a while to come back around. All right. And last thing we'll do is pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Same situation here. I did pre-shuffle this one, and then we're just looking for one card here. We'll wrap up. Got one. Okay, we got TikTok. There it is. There's the artwork, and the number is 30. Okay. It says timelessness, divine timing, immeasurable time. The Oracle's message. When humans created time, everything changed and contracted. People have come to look at life in a linear way, imagining that the past is behind them and the future is ahead of them. But what if that isn't true at all? What if everything, creativity, beauty, chaos, and order, were happening now in a glorious timelessness? You have all the time in the world to co-create the life you desire, so release your agenda. Let go of your need to shape each moment to your expectations, knowing that what is yours will never be withheld from you. Miracles are here right now and always show up when you need them, right on time. So, definitely an interesting message there. I didn't really get the vibe that you guys were being controlling. I mean, I guess in a way you could always view an ultimatum as kind of a controlling thing, but, maybe that's what that's pointing to at most. But overall, it's still a pretty positive message. The relationship message says love, the fulfillment of desire, and even the body's reproductive cycles have their own timetable. Some things are preordained and cannot be coerced. Everything has its season, its divine and appropriate timing, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. Remember that you always have enough time for love, to find it, to nurture it, to give and receive it. Its clock is eternal and ticks according to the beating of your heart. In perfect rhythm. Isn't that wonderful to know? Love is always right on time. So, another interesting message there, and like I said, that could just be pointing to for some of you where, again, you might have cut them off because maybe they weren't moving at the same speed as you, right? And maybe now that they are back, you feel like you can't necessarily trust it, right? You might be like, oh, I don't know if I could really believe them or not, right? But it could just say that it was as simple as a timing thing, And again, especially given that that's a fixed energy, and this energy and your sign in general is a cardinal energy as well, just like the Libra energy. Could just be saying that you guys are moving at two different paces, but eventually they end up getting to the same page as you, even if it was a little bumpy of a ride for a while. All right, so hopefully that resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there. Happy New Year, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.